on WRIF, home of rock and roll. I'm Anne Carlini, filling in for Big Daddy Arthur P. Hello, Alice Cooper.
How you doing, Ann?
The legendary Alice Cooper. Thanks for calling in.
Calling to home. It's like calling home.
Well, I wish you were here in my studio, but I'm sorry. I think every girl wants Alice Cooper in her studio.
Well, very complimentary. Very nice.
The Eyes of Alice Cooper, bravo on an excellent album.
Thank you. You know, I've done maybe 100 interviews for this album so far, and everybody says, "What's the idea on this album?" And I said, "It's Detroit, 1969."
Yes, it is.
And so I said, we took everything back to the time when every weekend was Alice Cooper, the Stooges, the MC5 at the East Town. And that's the kind of album I wanted to make. I wanted to make a live in the studio album.
Well, Detroit City, the song, you just can't get any more complimentary than that.
We got the riff in there.
Absolutely, you do. Absolutely, you've got the riff in there. Do you mind? Can I just quote the song?
No, go.
Okay, here we go. The sky's growing red and gray, but the riff kept a rockin', and the Cream, which refers to Cream Magazine,
right.
Studios in Birmingham for how many years?
Yes.
And the Cream kept it talking, and the street's still smoking today.
See?
Wow.
I got my riff in there.
Yeah. That is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, we do this song, and even when we're not in Detroit, and people still love the song. It doesn't matter because, Detroit's got such a history for rock and roll that everybody understands that that's what that time period was.
Well, I think it's about time, huh?
Yeah.
And the first verse, I just love. The kid was in his crib, Shady wore a bib, and the posse wasn't even alive.
Right.
Nothing like putting it right in their face, Alan.
Well, it was just saying, it's like saying, look at all the notorious characters from Detroit. I mean, it says, me and Iggy were gigging with Ziggy and kicking with the MC5. Ted and Seger were burning with fever and let the silver bullets fly. The kid was in his crib. Shady wore a bib, and the posse wasn't even alive. It's really just saying, look at all these characters from Detroit. Even before Eminem and the Kid Rock and all these guys, we were notorious for bad boy rock, And I actually like all those bands.
Well, that's what I heard, that was the reason you came back from L.A.
Yeah.
Because Detroit was definitely the fertile ground for Alice Cooper.
It's the only place that we felt at home. We played, L.A. did not get us at all. We were way too loud. We were way too obnoxious, way too arrogant, And as soon as we got to Detroit and played Saugatuck, with the Stooges, the MC5, and all those guys, it felt like we were that missing finger in the glove.
I love your comment about how the people in L.A., that those people were on acid, but the people in Detroit were drinking beer like you.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we were totally did not fit in, So, and then look at the whole new crop of guys from Detroit. I mean, the only white guys in the rap business that have any credibility at all are from Detroit. That's right. And Eminem's a genius. I mean, I'm telling you, I listen to his music and go, this guy has got it going on, man. He's just, I'm listening to it and I'm going, there's so much going on these records. What really impressed me is that in your interviews, how you mentioned the White Stripes and the Strokes, and you are listening to this new music coming out, aren't you? Well, what it is these bands that I really think are interesting bands are sort of new school bands doing old school music. Which makes it new school again. So that's why we wrote that song on the album. I'm stuck somewhere between high school and old school. Yeah. But I mean, that's what I dig about these bands is that they're not overproduced. They stepped right out of the garage, and they're in your face, just like it used to be. I guarantee you, every good rock and roll band started in a garage somewhere. And your producer, Andrew Murdoch, Blood Rock. Yeah. And he was very influential. He was very good about, he totally understood the idea of recording with no overdubbing and just live in the studio. He totally got that idea. I mean, he does Godsmack and, and a bunch of other bands. Power Man 5000. Yeah, Power Man, right. And to me, I said, listen, all we have to do is let the band play. Just put them in a room, turn it on, and let them play. And that's really what we did, and it just worked great. And how did MC5's Wayne Kramer get on Detroit City? That was the funniest bit. I'll tell you, I was working with Gilby Clarke. We were doing the demos for this. And all my guys had worked with, Slash's Snake Pit and all that. And Gilby says, I got a surprise for you, after he heard Detroit City. And I said, okay, cool. And the next day, this guy walks in. and I thought it was Peter Frampton. You know, because he had short blonde hair and glasses, and he sat down. We talked for a while, and then he says, "I'm Wayne Kramer."
Oh man!
And I said, "No, you're Wayne Kramer's accountant." You know, and he goes, "No, I'm Wayne." And I looked. I said, "Oh, geez, the last time I saw you, Wayne," I said, "we look like brothers." We had long black hair. We both had smeared makeup and black leather jackets on. and so I said, well, you have got to play on this album.
Wow.
I said, you're going to be our only guest.
How cool is that?
And, you know, for Detroit City, I said, you're the only one that was there other than me. And so he played, he played on it. If Ron Ashton would have been there, I would have said, Ron, you got to play on this too.
What a band you have. Yeah, Eric Singer is your drummer.
Yeah.
He used to play with Kiss?
Yeah. Eric's been with me for about 10 years now, and I would loan him out to Kiss, but they had to bring him back. They had to send him back alive.
And the band that's on the record is on tour with you?
On the tour, yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Roxy, Eric Dover. Eric was with Jellyfish.
Yeah.
Ryan Roxy was, with Flash and in the Snake Pit, and then Chuck Garrick played for Dio. So, I mean, it's just a good street band. Chuck Garrick reminds me of Max Cady. He's kind of got all tattooed. He looks like somebody right out of Cape Fear.
Is Detroit City the hit off this album?
It's the one that we're playing every night. We don't know yet. The Novocaine's getting a lot of play. And they're all getting a lot of play, so we really don't know which one it is.
We're talking to Alice Cooper. Through the Eyes of Alice Cooper is a brand new album, and Alice, you'll be in town on Monday. And, I've got one of the guys here at the station. He's about 22. And he goes, Anne, I know you're going to be talking to Alice Cooper. Please ask him about Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, every generation has their own boogeyman.
Yeah.
I get to be the in-house rock boogeyman. I think that after 35 years, I'm sort of the resident spook of rock and roll. And then there's all the new guys that come in. I actually think that I like the direction that he's in now.
Okay.
I like the fact that he's sort of out of what he was doing before, and he's into it, like this whole burlesque, grotesque thing.
Yeah.
Because it's more him. It's actually, he's created something that's really him now. So I don't think Marilyn's going to be a flash in the pan. I think he's going to be around for a while.
Are you going to torture Alice on stage Monday night?
Oh, yeah, we've got so many. I can only tell you one thing, okay? We could not let the Britney Madonna kiss go unlampooned.
You're not going to kiss Eric or anything.
Oh, no. It's better than that. It's better than I could just tell you. You'll have fun with it.
And what can we expect on stage? What are you going to play for us?
Playing all the hits.
Okay.
We're saving Detroit City for the encore, of course.
Good.
And then we're gonna mix in 5 or 6 of the new songs in there. But there'll be straitjackets and snakes and ballerinas and all kinds of things.
Yay! What's your favorite Alice Cooper tune
of all time?
Yeah, mine is "Go to Hell."
You know what? That's a good one. We played that for a lot. Dwight Fry is one of my favorites. Ballad of Dwight Fry. And, School's Out's going to be the one that's always associated with Alice. But 18 was maybe, somebody just told me it was voted in some magazine as one of the top 10 best punk songs of all time, or best angst songs or something like that.
But what's the tune that you start and you go, oh, man, cool, I'm singing it again?
Yeah, I think Dwight Fry.
Yeah?
Ballad of Dwight Fry. That might be it, yeah.
So what do you do when you're here in Detroit, Alice?
I'm in and out. I really am in and out. We're in a series of one-nighters. We did 5 in a row. We have 1 day off, and then we have 4 in a row.
Okay.
So we'll be doing Blam Bam Bam. We go, I think, Royal Oak, right?
Yes, Royal Oak Music Theater.
Royal Oak, and then we've got Maryville, Chicago, someplace else, day off, and then back for Mount Pleasant.
And Cooperstown, how's the restaurant going in Phoenix?
It's doing great.
Yeah.
It's doing great. I haven't been there. I've been out on tour, so.
Well, any chance of one coming to Detroit?
Absolutely.
We've got the Hard Rock Cafe now, Alice.
I'll tell you what, if I was kind of hoping the Tigers would have gone to who wants to be the second worst team?
No.
Go for it.
I know.
And then we could have opened up our own Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Listen, it takes a team like that, and believe me, they'll end up doing really well in about 3 or 4 years.
Who's going to win the World Series?
I'm hoping it's Boston and Chicago.
And And either one would be cool, right?
And at that point, I've got to go American League.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
You got to root for the Red Sox.
Yeah. Just because, they're American League and I'm a Tigers fan.
Yeah, I know. It's heartbreaking not to have a baseball team to root for.
We will, though. We will.
Okay.
We will. I promise.
Hey, what's your favorite memory of Detroit?
Well, I think that, one of the best ones was, I remember playing the Easttown and with the Stooges, and I think it was the SRC and the Who.
Oh, wow.
That's not a bad show.
No, not a bad lineup.
That was one of the coolest shows because Keith Moon came up at the end of the show and started playing his drums, and Neil Smith had always made sure he had one more drum than Keith did. And it was just like a battle of the drums. And we were playing, and the guys in the Who were coming up. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Alice, can't wait to see you Monday.
Hey. Thank you.
And once again, congratulations on the Eyes of Alice Cooper, man.
Thank you very much.
Excellent album.
Thank you. And we'll, like I said, I'm expecting to hear now Detroit City at every sporting event.
Well, damn it, you deserve it, Alice.
That's right. Come on. I wrote, Kiss didn't even live in Detroit. Neither did Bowie. Alice Cooper lived there. Born there.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Let's play that right now.
All right.
And, Alice, once again, thank you so much. Monday night, Royal Oak Music Theater, Alice Cooper. Go out and get the CD. Get pumped up for the show. There are just very few tickets available, so I suggest you pick them up this weekend before it sells out. Alice, have a great show tonight in Cleveland.
All right. And say hi to Mr. P for me.
Yeah, Arthur is actually in London filming a movie with Kevin Costner, Alice.
Get out of
I
town.
swear to God.
A romantic movie with Kevin Costner.
They needed a DJ. It's a movie about a radio station, and they sent the script to Arthur. He got the gig, man.
That is great.
I know. It's very cool.
Well, Kevin's a great guy. Kevin's a lot of fun.
So who are you golfing with nowadays?
Well, whoever shows up.
I remember when you golfed with President Ford.
My band's just starting to learn, which is, they're just, it's pitiful. But
I remember when you golfed with the president, it was all over the TV.
Yeah, I took him for some taxpayers' money. So.
All right, Alice.
All right.
Alice Cooper on the RIF.